Well, this was an attempt from city staff to gather all the resources for folks that typically deal with the homeless in our area, and we wanted to exchange information and get a better understanding of what the problem is. I think we were successful in that regard. Now the step for us is to go back and do our own research. We've already begun to look at other cities with similar demographics in Florida, see what they've done, trial and error, and talk to their staffs and their elected officials and what have you learned, what would you do differently, and our job now is to put a plan together, and that's what we're going to do. I've come across a compilation of numerous good ideas through my research, and our job, just like any other city, is to do what's best for our city. And so there's little bits and pieces of several things I've seen that I think might be effective. I think this was a learning experience for everybody, myself included. I learned a little bit about the Salzbacher Center tonight, and a couple of people approached me after the meeting and said, wow, this was great. I had no idea Beam did that, or I had no idea Mission House did that. So, these are the people that are concerned enough about the homeless problem to take a couple hours out of their weeknight to come sit here and talk to us, and I think everybody walked out a little bit smarter than they came in. Well, I got to tell you, I think it's more about citizens than the police, and the police have demonstrated readily that they're willing, able, and ready to come when they're called. And what we need to do as a community is when we see inappropriate behavior by homeless or not homeless people downtown, outside our yards or outside our businesses, call the police. And that's how the very first step is to just get out there and get the people that are involved with inappropriate behavior and let the police handle it. Well, I think we got a great team, we got a lot of resources, and we got a lot of good energy, and we all have a common will to improve the circumstances, and I think that's great.
Well, you have to understand that it's not just a law enforcement problem. This is a community-wide problem. It's a socioeconomic problem. It's not just unique to Jacksonville Beach, obviously. It's a problem all over the country. And we are only one small piece of that puzzle to work for solutions. You obviously have several different kinds, really. The two primary being is, one, you have the people that are homeless because they're down on their luck. They need a hand up and some help, and they want to get back into the normal realm of society. And then you have people who choose to live on the streets as a lifestyle. And generally speaking, the first group that I spoke of are certainly not as willing to infringe on other people's rights as maybe the second group are in some cases. So you have two separate really groups there that we deal with on a regular basis. First thing in our city that we do is we try to introduce them and connect them with the right social service that might be able to point them in the right direction to get the help they need to get that help a little bit so that they can start moving in the direction to finding residence and getting off the street. For those that choose not to take that information or that advice from us, we have to explain to them that there are certain laws and ordinances in our city that require certain behavior from them, and as long as they live within the confines of the rules, everything is fine. If they start to infringe on the rights of our citizens or residents, there's a very real probability that they're going to end up being arrested for it eventually. To be honest with you, there are very limited things that law enforcement can do. All we can do is take each individual case as it comes to us and deal with it appropriately. And if it warrants an arrest, we make the arrest. We're only one part of the criminal justice system. The courts, the jails, those are all another component, and we don't have any control of that. So jail overcrowding is an issue, so sometimes these people get out very, very quickly. But we have to make sure that we deal with the problem as we address it out on the street, though. We actually go through some special training in the respect that everybody has to understand the civil rights issues as they apply. We want to make sure that we don't ever have our officers cross that line to violate anyone else's civil rights, whether they're homeless or not. So that's a very important part of it. I try to treat people respectfully. However, if they are going to be arrested and they, choose another avenue, that's their decision. But our job is to make sure that we're protecting the rights of our citizens and residents here as well.